Idioms, idioms, idioms. Are you ready to learn some business English idioms? All right, let's go. In today's lesson, we are going to learn some business English idioms. Business English vocabulary is very important. If you use English at work, or if you are planning to use English at work, it's very important that you improve your vocabulary. And a lot of times in business, we will use special idioms. An idiom will be a phrase that has a special meaning. And today, we will go over 3 business English idioms that we often use at work. It's very important you understand these and are able to use them in your English. In today's lesson, I will explain what each idiom means. After the explanation, I will give you an example sentence. And finally, at the very end of this lesson, I will give you a small mini test where you can test your knowledge of these idioms. Let's see if you can remember what each idiom means and how we can use them. At any point during this lesson, you can ask me any questions down in the comment section. I will always answer. You can always pause the video. You can rewind the lesson. Take your time and try to understand all 3 words. Okay, let's get started with the first vocabulary word, the first business English idiom. Number 1, think outside of the box. Think outside of the box. Now, this is a great idiom, and we use it a lot in business and in daily life as well. Right? To think out of the box means that you should think of a creative or original idea to a problem. You'll think creatively. You'll think originally. You'll try to think of a unique solution, a unique plan to some type of problem. Now, usually in business, if we have a problem, most people try to solve the problem in the same way. So I want you to imagine there is a box and everybody is thinking in here. So this problem, the solution must be inside the box. It's always like that. Everybody thinks inside here. But these solutions are normal. These solutions are standard. These solutions maybe don't work so well. If you want to have a great idea, a great solution, unique, creative, then we don't think inside the box. We think outside, out here. This is where we look for an original idea to a problem. A great example sentence for this idiom is, if we want to be successful, we must think outside of the box. Number 2, go the extra mile. Go the extra mile. This means that you put in more effort. You do more to get a better result. So maybe if you have a problem, a task, a job, so I can go to this point and I can finish the job. I can succeed. But if I do more, I go extra, an extra mile. That means I will get a better result. I will achieve more. I will have more success. So to go the extra mile, that means that you do more, you put forth more effort to get a better result than expected. A great example sentence for this is, I always try to go the extra mile for my students. I always try to go the extra mile for my students. Number 3, call it a day. Call it a day. When your work is finished, or you decide that you will stop working on your job or on an activity, then we can say, call it a day. That means I'm going to finish my work, I'm going to finish what I was doing, and I will leave the office. I will go home or go out, but I will not work anymore. A great example sentence for this is, now that I've finished my report, I think I'll call it a day. Now that I've finished my report, I think I'll call it a day. This means I finished my report, so I will call it a day. That means I will leave. I'll stop working. I'll go home or I'll go out. But I'm not going to work anymore. Okay, so those are the 3 idioms, the business English idioms in today's lesson. Do you understand all of the meanings? If not, you can ask me any question down below. Please do not hesitate. You can always ask me. Also, you can also rewind the lesson, watch it from the beginning, and try to understand each of the business English idioms. Write down the sentences so you can look and you can try to better understand what each idiom means. And remember, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, if you like today's lesson, please subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell. Subscribing is totally free, and I guarantee you, you will learn a lot of English in my lessons. So, next, let's move to the test. Let's move to the active part of the lesson. In this next part of the lesson, I will give you a sentence. In this sentence, there will be a blank space. I want you to choose one of the 3 business English idioms to complete the sentence. Number 1, she is a great team player and is always willing to something. What idiom will you choose for this sentence? Okay, the correct answer for this is, she is always willing to go the extra mile. So she is a great team player and is always willing to go the extra mile. That means she is always willing to do more than is expected. She'll work more, harder, to more than expected to achieve a greater result. Number 2, it's getting late. Let's something. Which business idiom will you choose for this sentence? All right, the correct answer here is it's getting late. Let's call it a day. Let's call it a day. Let's stop working. So I started this sentence by saying it's getting late. That means the time is getting late. Maybe it's 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11, midnight. It's time to stop working. So let's call it a day. Number 3, my team always something to come up with unique ad campaigns. What is your answer for this sentence? Okay, the correct answer here is my team always goes the extra mile to come up with unique ad campaigns. So in this one, my team is doing more than is expected. They do more, they work harder. Why? Because they want to come up with unique ad campaigns. They want to get a better result. In this sentence, I hope you were very careful with the verb agreement, the subject and verb agreement. So my team always goes the extra mile. In this sentence, my team, that is the subject, must have the verb goes. So I hope you got that correct. Now, if some of you chose a different answer, you might be correct because for number 3, this sentence, there are 2 answers. The other answer is my team always thinks outside the box to come up with unique ad campaigns. That means my team is thinking creatively. They're thinking for original ideas because they want to come up with, they want to make and think of unique advertisement campaigns. An ad campaign means advertisement campaign. So number 3, there are 2 answers. 2 answers. So if you chose either of those, you are correct. Number 4, if you want a good tip, you have to something for your customers. What is the idiom you'll choose for this? The correct answer for this sentence is, if you want a good tip, you have to go the extra mile for your customers. That means you have to do more for the customers. If you do more for your customers, if you try harder, then they will give you a tip. A tip means gratuity. It's extra money that they are giving directly to you. It's not to pay for the food. A tip is the money saying thank you for your service. Now, tipping is very much a part of North American culture. In Canada and the US, it's very, very common. It's customary to tip. And depending on how you want to tip, the percentage can be different. We can tip from 15% all the way up to 20%. That is usually the standard, 15 to 20. Maybe 15, maybe 18, maybe 20. Again, that is up to you. And we do that in these tipping countries like Canada or America. Okay, so how did you do? We had 4 questions, and number 3 had 2 answers. Did you get all of them correct? I hope so. If not, don't worry, you can always try again. And like I say in all of my vocabulary or idiom or collocation lessons, it's a good idea to come back to this lesson, come back to this video in a week or in a month and try the lesson again. Let's see if you can remember all of the vocabulary words. So come back and challenge yourself again. Also, if you are interested in learning live with me, live English lessons, completely free. I do those now. I've been doing them. I started doing them. I'm going to do it on a regular basis. So make sure you check my channel, go to my community site, and I'm always advertising there when my free live English lessons will be. In fact, if you're watching this, usually maybe a Thursday and a Saturday is when I do it, but it always changes. So keep an eye out, look for that information, and join me for a free live English lesson. And remember, if you liked today's lesson, we learned 3 business English idioms. If you liked it, if you thought it was useful, please subscribe to the channel. Completely free. Give me a thumbs up and hit that notification bell. All right, until the next lesson. See ya. Thank you very much for watching today's lesson. Today we practice 3 business English idioms. If you think these idioms will help your English at work, please subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell. Until the next lesson, see ya.